Hi guys, Tammy here. Today I'm going to talk about Blush for Me by Christian Proby. This book is a part of the Fusion series. I think this is book 3 of the Fusion series. It's about Kat and Mac. Okay, so as I said, this is part of the Fusion series. If you remember Kristen Proby, I did a review on her Bourgeois series before. I love Kristen Proby. She's been doing a lot of good writing, and I love all her books. I think I've read all her series that she has written so far. But this one is another good series, and as again I said, is a part of the Fusion series called Blush for Me. I will have a copy of the book at the end of my review. So Blush for Me, it talks about Kat and Mac, as I said before. Kat is she's the bartender of the group of 5 women. It's five. The Fusion series is basically about 5 women, um, 5 very smart women, very independent women come together and create and made a restaurant bar combination. Each of the women have a special um, area in the business that they alone basically take care of, and with the help of the others they come together and make one big family. You will love these group of women. They are so funny, they are so down to earth, they are lovely. They're basically the 5 girlfriends you always wanted and wish you had. They tell each other their secrets. They tell each other when they're wrong. They're always there for each other. Very protective group of women against each other. And it's beautiful love story. I love Christian Proby series when it comes to the women in the groups. Again, stories about Matt and Kat. So, Kat is a bartender. She controls the liquor part of the business. Mac is a wine tour guiding owner. He and his brother own a company and they tour different companies or different restaurants that has wine tasting. So, basically, Matt met Kat on her way to a wine tasting in I think California. They both live in Oregon, Washington. So they basically Portland, Oregon. They live, and the wine tasting was in I think LA. I'm not 100%. I might have messed up on the location. Anyway, Kat is terrified of flying, and Matt was her basically partner when they met on the plane. He was talking her through the whole ordeal on getting over her phobia of flying and keeping her sane throughout the entire plane ride. The whole reason for this wine tasting was to for her to get new wines for the bar, and also it's called a sexcation. She hasn't had a boyfriend in a long time or a real relationship in a long time, so her goal that all 5 of the girls set up was for her to go there and meet someone, have sex for a week, and just basically it's a sexcation, meet, greet, have sex, leave, and then come back home. Coincidentally, Matt lives in Oregon too, and they basically had their week of fun, and they already had made their rules: no attachment, no emotions, no nothing. They did the whole shebang, and they agreed on it. When the time come for them to leave, nobody wanted to leave. They didn't want to go their own separate ways. They end up going back on the same flight down, which was good. She was still terrified about the flight. Mac was there to comfort her and basically be the her basically guide, or not guide, but like her comforter in this big phobia she has. So they part ways and they went there. It's been 2 weeks and she haven't heard from him and he haven't heard from her. But Mac had while they were on their sexcation, Mac had asked a whole bunch of questions. Where does she work? What does she do? But she never asked any questions about Mac. So Mac eventually made a wine tour for a few couples at her bar that she owns with her friends. So end up that she saw him and he said his name is Ryan. So she automatically thought he was lying, but his name is Mac. His name is Ryan McDonald, I think, or Matt Daniel. So he goes by Mac. So she was like, "Oh, you lied, and I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. I haven't heard from you. Why are you here now?" And he was like, "But we decided that we wasn't going to communicate with each other. I don't even have your phone number. I only come," and then he's like, "I came here because I remember where you told me you worked." And he's like, she's like, oh, okay. And then he came back after his wine tour left. He came back by himself later on and saw her. He's like, I really would like to take you out on a date if that's okay with you, and then we could go from there. She said, well, I'm working late tonight. Come back later. He said, no, it's fine, I'll wait. So while he was there waiting, one of the girls, one of the five owners, Mia, she's the chef, she made him something to eat, and he was like in love. He was like, oh my God, this is the best food ever. While Kat served him the liquor. So anyway, he waited for her, and they went out to eat. He had took her to this like a secluded park area, and coincidentally, he's her neighbor. They live in the same apartment complex. She's like, you live here? I don't know you. I've been living here for years. Unless you're the new penthouse owner. He's like, guilty. So she found out that he was her neighbor, and that was even better for her, because then she's like, oh, you're just above me, and I'm here, we're here together, let's just get this going. So throughout the whole part, they started getting to know each other very well. She told him how she went to school to become a psychologist. She has a doctorate in psychology, and her parents are both scientists. He told her, she started asking questions about his family. What does his parents do? And then he was telling her that my mother is a stay-at-home mom. My father used to own his real estate company until he went belly up with the depression. With the depression and everything that's going on. So it's like he went belly up, and then he turned to gambling. So I was like, oh, okay. So she found out that it was a tough topic, so she didn't really go back into it. So their relationship is going. She met his brother Chase, that's his partner, and then they started going out having fun. They Mac met the rest of the girls, and he met whoever had partners. So two of the girls have partners, two don't, and then he and Kat was just started dating. So they all went out to celebrate Kat's birthday, and they were having fun at the club, and they were just having a good time. That their whole relationship together was good. Their sex scene was very good. It's very detailed. Christian is very good at giving detailed sex scene, detailed relationship overall. She's also good with girls' night. Oh my God, their girls' night are so fun and filled with laughter. It's basically everything that I could ever want in a girls' night group. Anyway, so they've been going together and everything's going to start, and then something happened, and Chase mother's calling. He's like, I need $5,000, and can you give it to me? So she's like, no. So Mac was like, what's going on? What does mom want? And he told her, Chase told Mac what the mom want, and they said, okay. So they went there and they visit her, and they wanted her to leave, and she's like, no, I'm not going to leave him. He's my husband. He'll get better, yada, yada, yada. So coincidentally, another situation happened, and Mac was with Kat at the time, and because she has a doctorate in psychology, he was like, come with me, let's go to my mom's house. So they went to his mom house, and they were talking, and mom was getting very defensive and very emotional, and they just like basically it was a lot for her to bear. So Kat was like, everybody stop talking and stop doing everything overall. So Kat went to his mom and was talking to her and found out exactly what was going on, and ended up convincing her to stay with Chase for a few days until her husband gets himself together. So in the end, she ended up doing that, and she was coming from girls' night and got a flat. So she's like, wow, my tire blew out. And then she called him because she was scared. And then this guy knocked on her window, said, you have a flat? He's like, yeah, I can help you. She's like, no, my boyfriend's on the way. But he was very insistent. And then she came out the car, and I don't know why. She came out the car, and then he helped her, and then he said, oh, I know your friend Mac and everything. So she thought that was fishy, but she blew it off. Her and Mac basically got into it a little bit afterwards, but they made up, and everything was still going good. He took her out to an Adele concert. She was going to have a good time and everything. Why did Mac's father's basically, we call him loan shark, kidnapped her for ransom? Oh yes, it was a hot mess. So they end up kidnapping her for ransom. She was scared. She was everything, and the same guy that helped her with the tire was the same guy that kidnapped her. So she end up was scared. She spoke to Mac. They told her that how she could for ransom. Either you pay us or she work it off. But she was like, no, I'm not. It's not gonna happen. So and Mac and his dad basically came up with a plan and end up rescuing her, and she got away. First they came and they found out where they were held holding her, and end up rescuing her, and she got saved. Mac was going throughout his crazy out his mind, and then he finally confessed his love to her, and she confessed her love to him, and they made up, and they just like basically was there for each other. They were emotional wreck. They was like, we're together forever. 30 years, 50 years, 20 years, 100 years from now, we'll still be together. And that's the end of Blush for me. So I'm sorry if I gave you too much details of the book. I realize that I've been giving too many details in my books lately because I get so carried away in these stories. But the books are really good. As I said, I love Christian Proby. It's about 230 pages. I know I gave you basically gist of it, but there was so much going on. You will really love her series, guys. Check it out. Blush for me. Bye.